What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got a stacked main card, and today we're breaking down each of the main card fights before we even get to the title bouts. I'll also give my take on who might come out on the top. Let's dive. Moreno versus Tyra. I think this fight is going to be a very good fight. Two amazing strikers with insane hand speed. Moreno is the former flyweight champion, while Tyra is the rising prospect. I think this fight is going to be the best fight we'll get on this card. I'm just looking so forward to it. While Brandon has the experience, I think Tatsuro will actually win this fight. It's hard to say that he's faster, but I think his speed will eventually catch Brandon Moreno and possibly knock him out. So yeah, I have Tatsuro by knockout on this one. Even though Moreno is insanely well-rounded, has very good grappling and submissions, but he has a tendency to lose pace or make mistakes, to which I think Tyra will catch him. Here's how I think the fight could play out. In the early rounds, Tyra comes out fast, trying to establish striking and landing big shots. And in round 3 and 4, Moreno might start to clinch or shoot takedowns, realizing that Tyra might be too fast for him. And he's probably going to win these rounds by control time. And then I think Tyra will land the big shot in round 5. So yes, I have Tyra by KO on this one. Let me know if you disagree down below. Next fight, Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Cejudo is a legend, former champion at both flyweight and bantamweight. While Talbot is a young rising fighter, this is a massive opportunity for him. This matchup is compelling because it's not just about a title, it's a bit of passing the torch field, or at least proving ground for Talbot. Cejudo has an elite wrestling background, insane fight IQ, experience, high-level conditioning, even if older and very technical. But age could catch up, and Talbot might bring speed and volume just like Tyra will. But I think Cejudo will use his wrestling, take Talbot down, control the fight on the ground, and neutralize Talbot's offense. Eventually maybe getting the sub or a decision, but it's hard to say because if Talbot can keep the fight standing, land combinations on Cejudo, and maybe defend Cejudo's takedown attempts, here's how I think the fight could play out. In the first half of the fight, I think Talbot would test Cejudo on the feet, looking for range and early combinations. In round 3 and 4, I think Cejudo will likely lock in takedowns, get control time, and slow Talbot a lot. But I must say, I think this fight is going to go the distance and end in a decision, most likely in favor of Cejudo, just because I think he's going to be able to take down Talbot and win by control time. So I have Henry Cejudo by decision on this one. Next fight, Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Jan Blachowicz is a former light heavyweight champion, a big name with experience at the top, while Guskov is a dangerous up-and-coming fighter, and he's not a household name yet for everyone, but definitely someone to watch. Blachowicz has the power, well-rounded striking and decent wrestling, but he's had ups and downs, and may not be as sharp versus younger, hungrier fighters. Guskov likely has strong striking, great power, and fewer miles on his record, but he possibly has less experience in main card pressure fights and longer fights, and Blachowicz might use his veteran experience to pick shots, using range, mixing in kicks, and capitalizing on Guskov's mistakes. And Guskov could try to apply pressure, and perhaps test Blachowicz early with striking combinations or takedowns, depending on what he wants. Here's how I think the fight could play out. In the first half, Guskov is going to come out strong, testing Blachowicz's reflexes and trying to get control, while in round 3 or 4, Blachowicz could start to settle in, using his fight IQ to capitalize on Guskov's mistakes. So I lean toward Jan Blachowicz by possibly KO or a decision on this one. Now the big title fights we have on this amazing card. Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van is an insane fight, and I'm looking so forward to this one. Pantoja is defending his flyweight belt, and Joshua Van is a young contender who earned his shot and wants to make history. Pantoja is an excellent grappler and has a very strong submission game. He has experience in long fights, and he has the ability to keep composure under pressure. If Van could keep his standing, which I don't think he will, Pantoja may face a lot of problems. Van has an insane striking output, and if Pantoja misjudges the pace, he might get knocked out. Van has an insane striking output, but still, he might not have the same ground defense or experience in championship rounds. Pantoja will definitely look at ways to slow down Joshua Van, mix wrestling and submissions, and avoid firefights where Van's volume could hurt him. Van will try to keep the fight standing, maintain high pace, and land beautiful combinations. He may gamble for big finishes early, but I don't think he'll gas out. This is how I think the fight could play out. In the first half, Van comes out strong with volume striking like he usually does, and he tries to land big combos. Pantoja may just feel things out first. Van will try and defend his takedowns and look for opportunities to counter. Mid-fight, I think Pantoja will start to shoot for takedowns, work on top control, go for a submission if Van gets sloppy. Van might adjust to this, stay cautious, or push harder to land big shots. And in the final round, if Pantoja has control of the fight, he could lock in a submission or dominate with ground control. If Van is still in it, he might try to push for a KO or land enough strikes to win a decision. But my prediction for this one is Alexandre Pantoja. His experience, grappling, and ability to handle pressure makes him a strong favorite. But Joshua Van, we cannot doubt Joshua Van could get the early KO if Pantoja struggles to get him to the ground. But my estimate is Pantoja either by decision or sub. And now the main event, MERAB DVALLISHVILLI vs PETR. This is a rematch. MERAB beat Jan in their first fight. MERAB is going for his 4th title defense in a single year, which would be historic. Jan, on the other hand, is a former champion and he's always dangerous. He's so technical with finishing ability and motivated to reclaim gold. MERAB has elite wrestling, insane pace, very high volume, crazy cardio, and he has experience in big fights. While Jan, on the other hand, has excellent precision striking, insane fight IQ, power and experience. He's tough to take down and has serious weapons, but under MERAB's constant pressure, he may struggle. If MERAB drags him down repeatedly, Jan's striking edge could be minimized. MERAB will certainly shoot for takedowns and try to dominate him on the ground, and use relentless pressure. Jan's best bet here is stay mobile, strike from distance, use counters and pick his moments. Avoid being tied up too much in grappling exchanges. MERAB might mix in ground and pound too. Jan might try to stuff takedowns to make MERAB pay when he's vulnerable. But I'm leaning toward MERAB here. I think MERAB is unbeatable right now at bantamweight, and he'll probably never lose again unless he moves up. But that's my takes, guys. Let me know if you disagree down in the comments.